Hi, my name's Alyssa, and I'm the district manager at the Montcalm Conservation District. And today we're going to talk about all things conservation.
The Discover Montcalm podcast is brought to you by WGLM 1063 FM, Be More Media, West Michigan Technology and Design Solutions, and DW Video. Welcome to the Discover Montcalm podcast, where we are going to look at the communities, the businesses, the attractions, and the people that make up Montcalm County. Here is your podcast host, Dwayne Weed.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of the Discover Montcalm podcast, where we're looking at the communities, the businesses, the attractions, and more importantly, the people that make up Montcalm County. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Discover Montcalm Podcast, or go to discovermontcalmpodcast.com for all of our episodes. I have Alyssa here with me today. Alyssa is the director of the Montcalm Conservation District, and we're going to dive into agriculture. We're going to conservation. We're going to look at all of the things that make up this district. So thank you for coming into the studio today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, before we get into what you do, let's learn a little bit more about you. Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? And, a little insight into who is Alyssa.
Yeah. I grew up in the Petoskey area. I went to a very, very small high school with a graduating class of about 12. And then I went up and did all of my college and schooling up at Lake Superior State University in Sault Ste. Marie. Spent quite a few years up there. Really, really love being up north and just with all of the scenery out there. I mean, it's incredible. So I really enjoyed that time. And then I've been down in this area for about 2 years now.
So that would have been, 2022, somewhere in that area?
Yeah.
Okay. We were talking before we got started that, you came here and you applied for this job, but you were kind of like, I'm not going to get this. Is that kind of true?
Yeah. So a majority of my background is in business management, small business administration, and things like that. And when I had first read the position description, I was like, it's a little beyond what I've done. But I applied anyway. And so here we are. I started out as a resource recovery technician, working with recycling in the county and working really closely with the solid waste committee and those organizations within Montcalm County. And then we've just progressed forward.
So you're now the director, and, conservation, pretty broad.
Yeah.
For the people listening, can you kind of give us an overview of what you might do on a routine basis?
Yeah, so it really varies day by day. So, one day we could be working with partners in, say, 4-H or NRCS, or the Natural Resources Conservation Service. Or we could be working with our partners at MSU Extension and looking at various projects that are going on within Montcalm County that could potentially affect our resources, and making sure that those projects are safe to go through with, and things like that. Or we could be out in the field with some kids and teaching them about recycling or soil health or things like that. So it really varies day by day.
I think that's the best job, when it's not routine.
Yeah.
And it does. So you came into this position with business management, which is always one of those things that I think everybody should have. I tell my students, take some business courses. Get an idea of how things are made up. So you come in with business, and now you're running stuff that, how much conservation knowledge did you have before you came in?
I did have some. When I was in high school, particularly, I participated with Tip of the Mitt Watershed Council. And so what we did, we went out to various streams and lakes in the sort of Petoskey, Alanson area up north. And we would monitor those streams. So we would go in and we would look for macro and micro invertebrates to determine sort of the health of our water systems up there. And so that was sort of the biggest thing for me, as well as, various other programs within school, such as recycling. When I was in college, I participated in a program called Enactus. And so different school groups got together, created programs. Our program specifically, we worked with the Boy Scouts, and did a whole bunch of things with them to help them earn their badges. So
Well,
that included a lot of time.
Being a former Scoutmaster and helping quite a few boys reach their eagle, that hits pretty close to home here. Montcalm County, how, you were talking about lakes, streams, soil, swampland. I mean, I guess everything that goes into the area. How healthy is our system around here?
I would say it depends on where you're looking. I think, we would all love to say overall our county is great. But there are definitely some areas that need management, especially when it comes to invasive species, plants especially. I mean, you drive through Edmore and a majority of what you see is tree of heaven, which is incredibly invasive. And so it really depends on the systems that you're looking at. But the one thing that's really great about Montcalm County residents is that our residents want to get rid of it, right? They want to treat those things, and they want our county to be full of natural and beautiful things and not those invasive
Well, we have
species.
so much farmland that is not good for the crops.
Yeah.
But we also have deer and turkey, and certain things are probably not good for the animals.
Yep.
We would like to thank our sponsor, M1063, WGLM, FM, your locally owned and operated radio station, playing the widest variety of music to keep you moving with local news, sports, and weather. Visit m1063.com. Be More Media helps businesses be seen, be heard, and be more profitable. Be More Media helps small businesses get seen on Google and found through digital marketing and print marketing strategies. Visit them at bemoremedia.com.
You mentioned the problem in Edmore. Through your, office, how do you battle like this invasive species? What are some things that you're doing? I'm sure you're working with outside agencies. You don't just snap your fingers and it's completely taken care of.
Right.
So kind of educate us on how you are tackling that particular problem, which I'm assuming would be similar to any problem that you would have, throughout the county. But give us some insight on how you go after this.
So for invasive species specifically, we contract with the Kent County Conservation District, their strike team. And so that strike team is designed with people who are certified in various different things and have the ability and the knowledge to go out and actually do the treatments of invasive species. So we contract with them for a few specific ones, one of the biggest ones being Japanese knotweed. That one's a huge problem in the county. They'll go out to a person's location, whether that be their farm, their house, whatever that may be, or sometimes like the road commission or businesses like that will bring them out as well. They will sort of look at the area, come up with a treatment plan, and then start treating.
Okay.
So some of those things we can assist in paying for.
I was just going to talk about that.
Yeah.
It costs money to do anything.
Yep.
Edmore might be looking at that area, which includes a lot of family farms, businesses, and somebody's got to pay for it. So, I'm sure there's grant monies available, that type of thing. Does the homeowner or the business take on any of this responsibility?
It depends on what programs that you're participating in. So for the Conservation District, if you are interested in working with the strike team and having them come out to your property, depending on the type of invasives that you have and how big the area is, we do up to a 50% cost share. We try to keep that number as low as possible because really the goal is just to get the invasives out. And in everything we do, we try to make it, free or as little money as possible for our residents. There are also other programs, such as within NRCS, that
What is NRCS?
Yeah, they're a great partner of ours. It's the Natural Resources Conservation Service.
Okay.
And so they are under the USDA, and they have a variety of really great programs, all depending on your farm size, what exactly it is you're looking to do. And sometimes there's some money within those programs for things like invasive species treatment, and a ton of other things.
West Michigan Technology and Design Solutions is your local source for managed IT, websites design and hosting, digital marketing, and more. Check them out at wmtds.com.
Our county is also full of lakes and streams, and just like farmland, I'm sure that the same approach for our water, that you probably are looking at making sure that our water source is safe. Is that correct?
Yep, absolutely.
So that gets back to what you were saying, that every day is different. And through your department, how many people do you employ, and what kind of jobs are they doing? I mean, you're the director. I'm sure you're not the one doing it all.
Right.
But can you tell us a little bit about the makeup of your department?
Currently, we're a little bit small. We do have a conservation program technician, and her name is Faith. And what Faith does primarily is a lot of that watershed stuff. She does watershed information. She does things like our social media even. She'll make up a majority of our Facebook posts.
Okay. Well, now that you mentioned that, what is your social media? How do they find you on social media?
Yeah, we're on Facebook as Montcalm Conservation District, and then our website is www.montcalmcd.org.
Pretty simple, and we'll make sure that that's out on our description, but it'll also be on the YouTube video as well. What's the phone number? How does somebody contact you if they think that they have a problem or they just want to find out more information?
Yeah, you can call 989-831-4212, and if you would like to talk to me, my extension's 105, and if you would like to talk to Faith about watershed things, invasive species, that sort of stuff, her extension is 112.
Because being here since 2022, that time frame, has there been any major success story that you went, wow, we came together, we conquered, or is it just maintaining? But is there something that you could share with us that, gives us an idea of kind of the power of what you're doing in your business?
I think one of the biggest things that we've done, at least since I've been there, is our assistance in the resource recovery and recycling program in Montcalm County. So a lot of progress has been made in the county for recycling. We were the first county in the state of Michigan to implement all 24-hour unmanned compactors for residents to use. We're really the only place with a program even like this, and with units like these. And so,
speaking of those units, where are they located? How can people in the county, you've got them, where are they?
There are 6 locations. So there's one here in Howard City. There's one in Edmore, Stanton, Lakeview, Carson City, and Crystal.
Okay. Are these easily found, or they just need to call their local village manager or whatever to say, where's it located?
For the most part, they're easily found.
Okay.
And because they are recycling compactors, they're pretty big blue units. So if you pass by them, you can't miss them.
Okay. And what are some of the things that they are supposed to put into them? And then what are some things that are like, please don't do this? Give us an idea of, you've got these compactors. What should be used or what should be recycled?
So there are going to be 2 units at each location. The first unit is going to be for cardboard only. That's just your regular standard cardboard. The second unit is going to be what we call single stream recyclables.
Okay.
So that's going to be things like plastics, metals, paper, all that sorts of good stuff. So, your newspapers, your yogurt containers, your metal food cans, those sort of things.
Are they all put together, or do you
Yes.
have to do them separately?
Nope, they're all together in the same unit.
Just cardboard separate, everything else
Everything
is
else
here.
in one.
How about glass?
Glass can go in there as well.
There's always that one person that tries to throw everything in. What should not be put into these compactors?
So the biggest issues that we find specifically in Montcalm County are things like your grocery bags, cords, dog food bags, those sorts of things. Those are what we call tanglers, and are actually a really big problem for the recycling facility, and often cause the machines to shut down for hours at a time. So, plastic
Please
bags.
don't do those.
Yeah, plastic bags, things like dog or pet food bags, and styrofoam as well is a big issue.
Okay. Those just need to be put in the trash.
Unfortunately, yes.
So be responsible, I think, is the bottom line, because, that's important. You've been here for a couple years. What does Alyssa like to do to discover Montcalm?
There is a lot more to Montcalm County than people realize. There's a ton of really cool places to visit. One of the places that I really like to go, and that the Conservation District actually owns and manages, is the Comden Toll Model Forest. We've got about 2 miles of trails out there, a fire pit if that's what you're interested in.
But be responsible.
Yes, be responsible, please, and keep the firewood local. But no, there's a ton of really great things to do here. A lot of really great businesses to visit where you can, see and pet animals that you may not have been able to see before. So a lot of really great things here. Where's
the forest located? The condom?
Yeah, so it's kind of in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, I know where it's at.
Yes. But if you go to our website, we do have maps both on how to get there and also maps of the trails as well. I think that'll be easier than me trying to explain it.
And that's perfect. So your website again?
montcalmcd.org.
Okay. And on Facebook?
Montcalm Conservation District.
Phone number?
989-831-4212.
We've talked about a lot of things. Is there anything that I haven't asked that you would like our listeners to know about what the Conservation District here in Montcalm County is doing?
The Conservation District really does a ton of things. We really try to reach out to the people in the county. We do a ton of events year-round, and those are best found on our Facebook page and our website. And if people are interested and maybe they don't get on Facebook, or maybe they don't really get online very often, they can be added to our mailing list or our email list and find out information that way. But we do tons of events, both kid-oriented and adult-oriented, to really just encourage learning about conservation and conservation programs and practices.
You're a busy person.
All the time.
But, I've been talking to other people, and if you enjoy your job, it's not work.
Yep.
But it's fortunate if you do enjoy it and you can get paid for it, that's a bonus. So Alyssa from the Montcalm Conservation District has joined us today. Her website is up on the YouTube channel as well as the description. Feel free to stop in, check on the discovermontcalmpodcast.com on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Find out about all the people in Montcalm County. Thank you for coming in today. Remember to buy and shop locally.
The Discover Montcalm podcast is produced by content creator Dwayne Weed, celebrating 40 years at DW Video and Multimedia LLC at dwvideo.com or call 231-250-9624. Connect and follow the Discover Montcalm podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Check out all our episodes at discovermontcalmpodcast.com. We look forward to featuring your business, community, nonprofit, events, and more. Contact Dwayne at 231-250-9624, 231-250-9624. Thank you for tuning in and following the Discover Montcalm podcast.